I'm Max Sterling, welcome to LarpMix. My friends over at Calimacil sent me another weapon review for all of you today, and I hope that you enjoy checking it out. It is Norn, the Seal of Fate. Now this knife or dagger, or whatever you would like to call it, is very cool, and it is inspired by Vikings or Northern warriors, and I think that it just looks phenomenal. Let me go ahead and give you a close-up on it here so you can see all of the detail that's happening on it. Everything from that handle all the way out the blade is just very cool. A lot of detail that you would come to expect from Calimacil, and the contours in the handle and the fact that it's molded is just really great. Lets you hold on to it. It feels really good in your hand whenever you're swinging it, and just between, form and function, just, the fact that it looks great, but also, feels great. This is what you want out of a blade. Now, because I play a lot of assassin and rogue type characters, even though this is Viking inspired and stuff, and those characters may not necessarily be, this is still just a phenomenal looking blade to have from a distance. And if this thing is, in a sheath or something and just the handle is visible, that is just so detailed and looks so good that I would be proud to carry this around at any LARP that I go to, that it fits the character. And in fact, I'm going to. I really like this a lot. Obviously, if I'm playing anything that's Viking inspired, this is coming along with me. But even if I'm just playing, just a heavy fantasy game, I will probably take this as well as a boot knife or something. But I think that this is everything I've come to expect from Calimacil. I love their company. I love the stuff they make because it's all maintenance free. It's latex free, so I don't have to worry about lending it to people or people getting hit with it. They're very weather resistant, and this thing will last for years. Unless you're doing really heavy contact or you abuse this or step on it or something, it will last for a long time. All the Calimacil weapons I have, some of them are many years old, and they're all just pretty much as good as the day I bought them. You don't have to plastic dip these to reseal them or anything. They just last and do what they're meant to do. So as far as making an investment in your kit, stuff like this is money well spent. Speaking of which, Norn, the Seal of Fate here, will run you about $65 US, but like I said, just money well spent. This is actually part of the Mythic Workshop series, which is a partnership between Calimacil and Dracolite, if you ever heard of them. And they're making all these type of weapons that are essentially loosely historically based, but meant for fantasy games. So basically you get a really good looking weapon that maybe could have existed in history but is fantasy based. So I'm just going to call them like low fantasy style weapons. But for a lot of us, that's sort of our wheelhouse when it comes to LARPs, role-playing games and stuff. Some of them are high fantasy, and that's when you can have glowing swords and all that stuff, which is cool. But a lot of them are sort of a low fantasy setting, and this type of stuff just rules the day when you go to those type of games. So something to consider. Now this particular blade right here was actually used by the owner of the company when he went to a LARP, and they sent it to me because they wanted to see what I could do with it. Now I'm definitely going to use this when I go to games, but I am also going to change it up a little bit. I'm not entirely sure what I want to do with it yet, because I really do like it just sort of as it sits. But I think I'm going to make some changes to it, and when I do, I'll have a video on how I did it and what the end product looked like. So stay tuned for that, in the next several months or so. Now, to me, even though this is Viking or Northern warrior inspired, there's an undeniable elven quality that I see in this weapon. Now, from afar, I think that that's where you pick it up from. Up close, you can see that this is definitely more sort of, traditional, we're say Viking-esque style. But I think it's this handle that is just reading elven to me for some reason. So if I were going to play a game and be an elven character, I think I would probably try to slip this by as well. And this one, even though it shows a little bit of signs of use, like I said, this was actually used in combat before, The newer ones, this is all much brighter paint on here. However, I actually kind of prefer this muted paint on here. If you want to pick one up, Calimacil.com. I'll include links down below, and as well as the full measurements for the blade. And definitely check this out and check out everything else that they make. If your game doesn't accept their weapons for some reason, these are very safe. They're a little bit more solid than other brands, but they last forever. And really, when you're getting hit by them, they do not hurt. They're still just foam. And you know, talk your game into allowing them if you can, because these just, like I said, they look phenomenal. And if you're doing a lightest touch game, I mean, this type of stuff should be included anyhow. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe, click like, and of course, as always, adventure on.